In this video, we are going to learn 2.3 connecting the dots. Okay, this is a speech given by Steve Jobs. So, before that, we have to know a little bit information about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, 1955 to 2011, was an American entrepreneur, business magnate, inventor, and industrial designer. He was the chairman, chief executive officer, and co-founder of Apple. He is widely recognized as one of the pioneers of a microcomputer revolution of the 1970s and 1980s. So, we have to know that Steve Jobs, this is a world famous personality in the field of computer, and we know that the owner and the founder of Apple company, and that the name of that person is Steve Jobs. So let's begin the lesson. First paragraph. Before that, we have to know that this is just a speech given by Steve Jobs. Okay, in this speech, he just described his three stories, and what is the exactly meaning of this? That three stories we have to know by learning this lesson. Let's start. Today, I want to tell you three stories from my life. That's it. Just three stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the 6 month, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months before I really quit. Looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I could drop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and began dropping in on the one that looked interesting. So this was the first paragraph, and in this paragraph, he just want to say that in this speech, Steve Jobs just want to share the three stories of his life. Okay, and the first story is about connecting dots. So connecting dot, this phrase is used for connecting the previous knowledge to the present. Okay, that's why connecting dot, this phrase is used, means whatever we have learned in the past, and if we are able to apply that in the present time, this is the real meaning of connecting dot. So in this paragraph, he just want to say that when Steve Jobs admitted in the Reed College, okay, then after the 6 month he dropped out from that college, but nearby 18 months he was related to the college. He was nearby that college. Means in short, he was not in that college. He was left the college, but he was connected to it nearby 18 months. So after that, we have to know Steve Jobs just wants to say that he was happy whatever he had made the decision about discontinue the education from that Reed college. But okay, after that he just want to say that he could not stop himself which things were interested to him. He was taking that education, and if suppose some subjects are not interested for Steve Jobs, he was not going to that classes. Okay, in this way we have to know the first paragraph of this lesson. So in short, we have to know only one thing. In this speech, Steve Jobs want to say three stories of his life, and the first story is about connecting the dots. Okay, connecting dot, this phrase is only used for whatever we have learned in our past time. Okay, and if we are applying that knowledge in the present for making something new, and for that the connecting dot, this phrase is means whatever we have uh, acknowledged in our life, and if we are able to apply that, and when we connect the relation of past to the present time, so that we can say it is the connecting dots. Okay, so after that he just say he dropped out of a Reed college after the 6 month. Okay, and he was always coming there as a visitor. Okay, and after that he want to say he was quite happy because whatever he had made the decision to leaving that college, that was the best decision for him, because he was not interested to learn that things, but which uh, lessons or which topics were interested for him, he was attending that lectures. So next para. I don't have a dorm, it means a dormitory. Okay, I don't have a dormitory room, so I slept on the floor in friend's room. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with, and I would walk 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it, and much of what I stumbled in my following curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless lesson. Here, one example. Reed College offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country because I had to take calligraphy class. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about what makes great typography. Okay, so in this paragraph, we have to know Steve Jobs just want to say a little bit he experienced of his life, which he had experienced in his past. Okay, so he just want to say he didn't have a washroom, big room, and that's why. And as well, we know that he used to sleep in the friend's room on the floor. Okay, for getting 5 cents. Okay, he was returning that Coke bottles, and every Sunday, Steve Jobs used to go to the Hare Krishna temple to get a good meal for one time in a week. And he was loving that food because we know that he was not much rich, and that's why he always used to go to the Hare Krishna temple a week, and he get there a good meal. After that, Steve Jobs want to say when he was studying in Reed College at the time, he had learned little bit about calligraphy. Okay, and after that whatever he had learned in that college, that was applicable in his life when he learned about typography. Typography, it means the appearance of printed matter. Okay, means how that printed matter looks. Okay, it means a typography, and that typography Steve Jobs learned in that college when he was there. And he just want to say that whatever he had learned, that was very important for him because he was applying that knowledge for his present project. Okay, and for that he learned serif and sans serif typefaces. Okay, this also the matters. Okay, which were printed on the paper, means how that letter may looks. Okay, that all things he learned in that college, and that knowledge is applicable for now. And that's why this phrase we have to know connecting dots. It means whatever he had learned, that all knowledge he is applying at the present time to learn typography, and because of that he is making a beautiful appearance of printed matters. Okay, and that's why Steve Jobs just want to say that how the connecting dot, this phrase is applied here. Then next para, 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, at all came back to me, and we designed it all into the Mac. If I had never dropped in on that course in the college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces, or for that matter even uh, proportionally faced font. Okay, so in this paragraph he just want to say now 10 years later, when he was designing a computer, and the Mac it is Macintosh computer. For that he used the Mac word. Macintosh, this is the type of computer. Okay, when he was designing with his team a computer, Macintosh computer, at that time he realized whatever he had learned at college level, that was useful for him at the present time, and because of that previous knowledge he was able to make a perfect typefaces there, and because of that previous knowledge he had learned in his college, that was useful, and because of that he used so many fonts in that computer because of his past knowledge, and that's why he used their concept connecting dots. Next thing, and since Windows just copied Mac, it's likely no personal computer would have them. Of course, it was possible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in a college, but it was very clear looking backward 10 years later. So, same thing here, he want to say that when he made that Mac computer, then he copied their Windows also, okay, and it was not a personal computer, okay, and it all was become possible, okay. And we have to know that the complete connecting dot, this phrase is applicable for here, because looking forward when he was in a college, but it was very clear for him looking 10 years later, okay, means when he was studying in the college at that time, he doesn't know what will happen in the future, but now when he look backward 10 years before, at that time he realized that whatever he had learned before 10 years, that knowledge was applicable for the present time, and because of that knowledge he is able to make windows as well as various fonts in the computer, and that knowledge was applicable here, and for that we can say it is the connecting dots. Next para, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in some things, your guts, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. Okay, this is the most important paragraph, because we have to know so many things, how we become successful in our life, and which things we required, okay, that all things we can find in this paragraph. So the concept of connecting dots, it is applied when we look backward. Suppose we are looking only forward, then we cannot apply this concept connecting dots. But whatever we are now, if we understood that things, and automatically all things came in the backward in our past life, and so that he just want to say uh, connecting dots, it means looking a little bit backward, and when we looking little bit in backward, and whatever we have learned in our life, and when we are able to apply that in our life, then we can say it is the perfect connecting dots. But as well, if you want to be a successful, or if you want to connect the dot to the future, for that some things are required, and most important thing, you have to trust in yourself, as well you have that guts, that courage and determination to do something, as well destiny, our life and karma. These are the most important things that we have to know in our life. Because of these things we become successful in our life. So which things are required? First thing, we must have a trust. Then we have that guts, courage and determination to do something. Destiny, life and karma, this also important. Because of this we can achieve so many things, and we have to know that the such type of future never let us down, and because if we are having such type of qualities, then we always go forward in our life. This was the first story. Now we have to move for the second story of Steve Jobs life. Okay, my second story is about love and loss. I found what I loved to do early in life. Was Steve Wozniak, and I started Apple when I was 20. In 10 years, Apple had grown from just two of us in a garage into a $2 $2 billion company. And then I got fired. it was devastating. It means causing a severe shock or distress. Okay, so simple thing we have to know that the second story of Steve Jobs life is about love and loss. Okay, and he said he found what he loved to do early in his life. Okay, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs started Apple company when Steve Jobs was only 20 years old. Okay, and within 10 years that company grown up very much, and the round figure or the income of that company becomes $2 million. Okay, but what happened, we have to know that when this company was started with only two persons, Steve Jobs and Oz. Okay, Oz means Steve Wozniak. These two persons started the company in a small garage. First, there was only two persons, and after uh, they hard working, this company became so much worse and spread everywhere. They got much benefits from that company. But what happened? He fired from that company, and this was the most devastating thing, because if a founder is fired from that company, it becomes much distress. Okay, so next thing, but something slowly began to down on me. I still loved what I did, and so I decided to start work. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. So, in this paragraph, he just want to say that we know that in our life, so many times we face ups and downs, and same thing happen here. And this time, Steve Jobs become very clear, because whatever he had loved, he was doing that things, and he decided he has to start once again a new business. And he realized that if we have that qualities to do something, then we can do each and everything in our life, because we are a creative person, then we can achieve so many things in our life. And that's why he just want to say that the heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being beginners again. It freed him to enter one of the most creative period of his life. Okay, we know that once time he had started the company, and he was successfully in that, and that's why he get most confidence, and that success replaced by again and again as a beginner. And this creative thing make him free to do so many things in the life. And we know that because of this positivity and this confidence and the hard working nature, he began to start a new company. Okay, so next paragraph. During the next 5 years, I started a company next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife. Pixar is now the world's most successful animation studio. Apple bought Next. I returned to Apple, and then technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance, and Lawrence and I have a wonderful family together. So in this paragraph, he just want to say that within 5 years, Steve Jobs started a new company, and the name of that company was Next. After that, he founded a Next company. After Pixar, these two companies also started by Steve Jobs, and after that, he fell in love with a beautiful woman, and the name of that woman is Lawrence. Okay, and we have to know that Pixar is now the world famous and most successful animation studio. And what happened after that? Apple bought Next, and Steve Jobs returned to the Apple company once again, and he developed so many technologies in it. and the next company. Okay, this became heart of Apple, and Apple's this company became renewal there. Okay, rebirth of Apple company is there because of next company. Okay, so Lawrence and Steve Jobs, now they having a wonderful family there. So simple thing we have to know in this paragraph: during 5 years, Steve Jobs started a company. The name of that company was Next. And after some years, once again, he started a second company, and the name of that company was Pixar. Okay. After that, he talks about his wife. Okay. He fell in love with a beautiful woman, and the name of that woman is Lawrence. And after that, she became wife of Steve Jobs. Okay. And after that, Steve Jobs talk about Pixar company, and we have to know that Pixar is a world famous and successful animation studio. uh, we know that so many animation videos, animation movies we see in present time because of only the Pixar studio. Okay, and after that, next about Apple company, and once again Steve Jobs entered in the Apple company, which from he was fired before some years. But now Steve Jobs become the part of Apple company, and he used so many technologies which he had developed in the next, and that technology which developed in the next company, that becomes the heart of Apple. And now Apple company taking a rebirth, and the family of Steve Jobs living a wonderful life together. Next thing, sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. So, in this paragraph, we have to know that hits you in the head with a brick. It means give a great shock suddenly. It means in our life, so many times we get a great shock suddenly, and at that time we don't understand what to do. At that time, we never lose our faith. We have to trust on ourselves, and whatever we are doing means, in short, we have to love our work. If we are loving our work, then we will never get a great disaster in our life. Okay, so most important thing is that we have to love our work, and if we are not loving our work, it means we will never be settled in our life. For being a great person, first we have to love our work, we have to trust in ourselves, because in life we get so many shocks, and if we are not able to suffer that, then we will never become successful in our life. So for being a successful in our life, we have to love our work. And now he talks about the third story of his life. Okay, the paragraph is there. My third story is about death. After a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy. It turned out to be a very rare from a pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery and I am fine now. So in this paragraph, this is the third story of Steve Jobs, and in this story, he just want to talk about death. Okay, and he says that before a year he diagnosed with the cancer. Okay, and his doctor advised him to complete his all things, because in short, doctor just want to say that prepare for die means be ready for dying, be ready for to go in the heaven. But he was not lose his hope about the life, and he was searching so many things how to cure that cancer. And lastly, he realized there is something, with the help of that we can uh, clear the cancer, and he the name of that surgery biopsy, and that was the very rare cancer of Steve Jobs. But he became ready to do the surgery, and lastly that surgery becomes successful and the cancer is cured, and now he is living his perfect life. So simple thing is there, when Steve Jobs realized that he has a cancer, okay, cancer disease, and his doctor used to say him, be ready for die, means he will not live for so many days and he will die soon. But same time, Steve Jobs was thinking positively and he was searching new things how to cure such type of cancer, and he found the solution there, and lastly he become cured with the surgery, and now he is living his fine life. Next paragraph. This was the closest I have been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I have get for a new more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. So, in this paragraph, Steve Jobs just want to say that he has seen the death by very near, but at that time he was little bit hopeful, and because of that he was living so many decades. Okay, after that he just want to say a beautiful line. Okay, time is limited. Okay, so we should not waste our time and we should not live someone else's life. So the time is limited and we have to care about the time. Next thing, don't be trapped by dogma. This concept means belief or a set of beliefs held by a group or organizations which other are expected to accept with argument. It means dogma. Okay, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown out your own inner voice. And the most important, have the courage to follow your heart and institutions, then somehow already know what you truly want to become. So in this paragraph, Steve Jobs just want to say that we should not be trapped by the dogma or the rules and rituals that are followed by the society. Okay, whatever we are living, we have to do only that things. Okay, we should know to follow the opinions of another person. We must follow our inner voice. Whatever our heart is talking, we have to only follow that things. Okay, and we have to give importance to our heart and institutions. And for that, we required much courage. If we follow, if we are ready to accept the decisions of our heart, our mind, or our loving things, this is the secret of being successful person. So we have to be courageful and we must have to follow the heart and institutions of ourselves, and after that we will definitely become success in our life, and this is the truth and a reality of everyone's life. And the last paragraph is there. When I was young, there was an amazing publication called the Whole Earth Catalog. In the final issue, on the back cover, they put a photograph of an early morning country road. Beneath it were the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It was their farewell message as they sign off. I have always wished that for myself, and now as you graduate to begin anew, I wish that for you, stay hungry, stay foolish. So this was the last paragraph, and in this paragraph, Steve Jobs just want to say that uh, when he was young at that time, there was a magazine. Oh, and the name of that magazine was the Whole Earth Catalog. Okay, and on that magazine there was a photograph, morning photograph of countryside, and there was a line, "Stay foolish, stay hungry, stay foolish." And same thing Steve Jobs want to say to the students which were in front of him. We know that this was the speech given to the students who that were came to uh, listen that, okay, and the program was degree distribution program. So in this way this lesson ends here. So simple thing we have to know by this paragraph, okay. In this paragraph or in this lesson we have to know that simple thing. First thing, this is the speech delivered by Steve Jobs to the students at the event of degree distribution program. After that, in this lesson, Steve Jobs, or in this speech, Steve Jobs just want to say the three stories of his life. First story is about connecting dots. Connecting dot, it means whatever we have learned in our past and we have to apply that at the present time. Okay, this is the connecting dots. In second story, Steve talks about love and loss. Okay, in that he talks about how he was fired from Apple company, and after that how he founded Next and Pixar company, and after that he married to Lawrence. Okay, and at the last he talks about the third story, and the third story of Steve Jobs is about death. And in this story he talks about the cancer, okay, which was which was cured by the surgery after that. Okay, means he was very near to death, but because of his curiosity and because of his courage, okay, he find out the solution, and lastly he became successful. And at the last of this speech, Steve Jobs just want to say that we have to stay hungry, stay foolish. It means whatever the other people are saying to us, we don't care about that. Whatever we are living, we have to do only that things in our life, then we will become successful. We have to listen only the voice of our heart and our institution, and we have to follow our heart, institutions, and our mind also. So thank you.